everybody, this is your editor of CoinWeek, Charles Morgan. And I'm here to share some variety tips and tricks so you can pick one of these coins out of your local shop or out of change or at your bank or at your local coin show like a pro. Learn what we Eisenhower dollar specialists have known for years and to get to see this really cool variety up close and personal. I am talking about specifically a coin that Rob Ezerman of the Ike Group got into the Cherry Picker's Guide. This is a coin that was graded, and this is the variety we're going to talk about. And this is not noted on the holder, and you'll see many of these coins and graded holders that aren't attributed by PCGS or NGC, and that is the Friendly Eagle variety. So right here I have two coins. One is a CAC 65 Friendly Eagle, and one is your regular Type 2 reverse, your standard reverse actually that you'll see most 1971Ds are struck like this 66. You would think if you were just looking at plastic and buying coins from a dealer that the 66 would be worth more money. It's a higher grade after all, but you'd be wrong because this coin is probably about $140, $150 with that CAC sticker. This coin, probably about $40 or $50. And I'm going to tell you how to differentiate the two. Before we start that, I'm going to be using the Leuchtturm USB microscope. You can buy it if you like if you need this type of technology. You can buy it from our supply store. And I'll have the link in the description after I finish uploading the post. Without further ado, let's put these coins under the microscope so you can learn how to tell them apart. So, give me a second here. This is the regular 71D. And this is the reverse you're going to be most familiar with if you're an Eisenhower dollar collector. You see on the earth, it's got a flattened top. Slightly flattened. It's not completely round. The islands, just pay attention to what those islands look like. They're little dots there, right? The brow of the eagle has a line right here above its eye. It's like a sort of like a eyebrow, if you will. Then we're going to look here at the crater right on top of LL and dollar. Pay attention to that crater. Very important. Now, let's look at the Friendly Eagle variety and see where the differences are. Okay, first things first. You see how that earth is rounder? And it's not as, in my opinion, it's not as distinct. It's almost like the relief is a little bit lower around the circle. But you can see quite clearly that it's different. The islands in the Caribbean form a straight line. You can see that right here, a little straight line. Also, when we're looking at the eagle, and this is one of the reasons why the Ike Group started calling these the Friendly Eagle variety. You see you have that eye there, but you don't have that furrowed brow. I'll give you that comparison real quick so you see it again. You see that line above the brow? You can kind of make it out. And then, when you see the Friendly Eagle, that is gone. I'll leave it here for a second so you can concentrate. So again, line in the Caribbean, a rounded earth, no furrowed brow over the eye of the eagle. And now, I remember I told you to pay attention to that crater. That's going to be the big tell. You almost don't even need to look at the eagle. To be honest with you, you could look at this crater right here above the LL and dollar, and look at how defined that is. You can see all of those little lines, those little crater lines above the L and the dollar. Okay, and then when we look at the regular reverse, the Type 2, as we now call it, in the red book, you see only a few lines, not as sharp, not as detailed. Big tell right there. The Friendly Eagle variety, according to our research, is a coin That was probably struck first, we believe, because the 71Ds without that reverse mirror what the main series looked like from the Philadelphia Mint, and getting into 1972, before Philadelphia had those three types, the type 1, 2, and 3 reverses. It seems like the Mint had a very difficult time minting Eisenhower dollars and these big giant clad coins, which are harder metal to strike in big dollar format. Remember, they hadn't made a dollar coin really on a wide-scale production basis since 1921. They did experiment in 1964 with the peace dollar. Even Morgan dollar designs were under consideration by the Mint. They made hubs, we know, but they hadn't made hundreds of millions of big dollar coins. And it looks like the Denver Mint got the first crack at it for the circulation strikes. We also see a number of Denver Mint coins from that year have proof-like planchets, which make us believe that it's perhaps possible that they had polished some planchets for either experimental purposes, or perhaps they were considering making proofs that year, didn't go ahead with it and shipped the planchets to Denver. I've seen some 1971Ds that look almost proof-like and would probably qualify for the PL designation if they were submitted to a grading service, and the grading services gave those out. So again, there you go, the 71D, Friendly Eagle variety. It's a Red Book variety. I was able to get that to happen a few years ago. It's also a coin that CAC will certify. Again, I worked for John Albanese a few years ago to get him to certify that. Also, James Seago, who is one of the leading dealers in Eisenhower dollars, has his own grade the grader service, a QA check. So you will sometimes see those coins also in the market with a QA check sticker. I would say that the CAC cachet is probably a little higher in the market, but both coins being graded by a grading service and then vouched for by a dealer or market maker in that industry is probably a good thing to look out for. But again, you don't need to pay the extra variety fee if you have the ability to pick them yourselves, although it does help when you resell them. And I invite you to take advantage of this knowledge. Go through auction catalogs when 71Ds come up for sale, or look at any of your local shops when they have 71Ds. Again, you can't get these in mint sets, so these are coins that were only available in rolls or bags from the Mint. So you may have a little harder time finding these coins. And so with that being said, I invite you to broaden your collecting adventure, find some of these coins, pick them like a pro, and make some money while you're at it. For CoinWeek, I'm editor Charles Morgan. Until next time, happy collecting.